like how words can influence terrible things to happen. And the third guy mentioned how his mom how his wife broke apart from him, like as in they separated but not technically separated, and how his friends encouraged him to separate but he didn't want to separate.
That's not. Continue talking for
Okay.
5 seconds. It's nothing good.
Okay,
Okay,
please.
no stars. No, it's 1:30.
Yes, no stars.
No, it's 2. We made it 1:30 because
No, 145.
1:45, sorry.
Okay, done. Yeah, do not crush you.
Okay, let's go first. I'll start. Okay, go again after me. Okay. There's a lot of good points. First of all, you weren't speaking with a paper. But overall, okay. So you started off a little bit weak. Okay, like just a little bit of confused start. Some misinterpretation was there, but that's everyone's opinion. And just your ending was just a tad bit like soft. But overall, your speech was incredible. Summarization of all three, I give you a 9.
Okay. I give Usaid an 8.45 because 8.45 because no bias.
Give them the chance.
No, I'll lower mine to 8.7. This is completely unbiased, guys. So the reasons being that, yeah, his speech was great, the content was great. However, time management was really weak in Usaid's case, and that's very common among spontaneous speakers. However, that was just terrible because you were talking to Miss about what his name was, which you should have researched first before giving the speech. And also, you kept saying, you look back, which also added to the time that's not really allotted to the speech. And also, there's the use of repetition, which is like, which again is very common among spontaneous speakers, but it's not really professional, it's not really admirable to a professional speech giver. And again, okay, there's one more. Your body language was also very unprofessional because you were doing this most of the time. There were actions that was intended to visualize what you're trying to say, but there were other body movements that weren't very necessary or really add anything of essence to the speech at hand.
For Usaid, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Sorry. The content was good. I like the content. There was a misinterpretation in the second speaker's speech. You said that he encouraged people smoking, but then
Mena also said that.
You can't defend
no,
yourself.
wait. Mena, she said the contestant number 1 said that he just proved it that it was wrong. But then his actual intent was to show that people believe every word they hear if you say it properly. Well, Usaid misinterpreted it, but then it's fine. The speech you could have prepared for, there was a stuttering here and there. It's not something bad. I stutter myself a lot. I'm not saying, okay? And like Gusti said, repetition, you should use like, separation. And here's a tip: if you forgot a name of the first contestant.
Just say first contestant.
Yeah, just say first contestant. Try to think of something. The first speaker. You don't have to say his name immediately. Think of something on the spot. And it's best not to address the juries to ask a question because that would seem unprofessional. Body language too, I felt it was kind of awkward. Body language is important. Just standing there and speaking won't do any good. But in too much movement, I also do too much movement, so it's fine. It's also a bit. If you want to move, you can walk around back and forth. It won't look too awkward. But then don't overdo body movement. Yeah. But then overall, the content was good.
The delivery was bad.
7.5 out of 10.
Miss, can you
No, with
I'm trying to be professional.
I gave our
I gave our second contestant Usaid an 8 out of 10. He had good use of, he gave good points and bad points about each of the speakers he talked about, as well as he summarized them in the beginning so people could remember what they were like. However, his use of time management wasn't really thought out because he summarized a lot more than he actually said his own opinion. You shouldn't be afraid to say your opinion. It's your opinion. No one's going to oppose you about it. And then you should look at your audience more. Like, they won't do anything. It's fine. Everyone here is like a family. Don't worry about it.
MIS2018.
No comments. It's an orphanage.
What did you think of them?
8. Wait, yeah, 8. Yeah, as well as it was obvious that you didn't really think about how the structure of your speech was gonna be. It wasn't really thought out well in the beginning, ending, and the middle. But that could be like better if you could just have a paper just with small like words to just remember what you're supposed to talk about. But it was good use of how you talked. Your vocab was really good. You tried to make it as formal as possible, which was also really nice.
Okay, so we said I like the attempt to interact with the audience by giving respect, but then you could have like practiced it in your head.
Yusuf, you wanna go?
The attempt was really good. I liked it that no one else would think of like interacting with the audience. I liked it a lot. But then the way you actually performed it was awkward and kind of like yeah. So you could like practice it in your head more. And one good tip also, before starting, wait for everyone to settle down because people won't hear you and then some will be confused. And just wait for everyone to settle down before starting to speak. Yeah.
Miss, can I go next one?